Hello everyone. Quick announcement before we get into the reading. I just wanted to let everyone know that I have started two things. One is my Patreon site where I will be uploading all of the extended portions of the videos, the in-depth look of the videos and readings, sometimes when I do the clarifying cards, and I put a bit of extra material. All of that is now going to be over on Patreon, as well as I've finally been able to start my tarot and oracle deck unboxing and review series. And I'm going to be starting to unbox various tarot decks, review them in depth with you, and each month these decks will be given away in a monthly member giveaway. So in order to be eligible for the giveaway, you just have to join my Patreon site, and the cost of being a patron over there, I just ask for $1 a month, and that's it. There's one tier, one amount to join, and it's just a way, just simply a way for me to be able to facilitate these reviews and to be able to give out these beautiful decks. The more people join, the more patrons I have, the more decks I will review each month, and the more decks I will give away. So, for those of you who want to see the unboxing, go straight to the link. I'll include the link here and in the description box, and you'll find out more information about the series and my Patreon site there. Or you can go directly to my Patreon site and see the extended unboxing and review video there. All right, guys, thank you so much. And without further ado, straight to the reading. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading for the sign of Sagittarius. It's going to be for the week of July 28th to August 3rd. Alright, Sagittarius, my brothers and sisters, we're going to get right into it. I'm going to pull out your two romance oracle cards. Alright, see what two energies you're working with this week in terms of your main stage relationship. Alright, for those of you new to my channel and to these weekly readings, we're going to look into whatever relationship is kind of your main focus this week, or taking up your main focus this week, alright? And that could be at work or at home, with family, with a lover, whatever the case may be, that's what we're going to look at. Alright? Hopefully this will resonate with you. Of course, not all readings resonate with everyone, but this is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, in the sign of Sagittarius. All right, so your first card out is passion. Wow, a lot of passion, beautiful. I love that when that card comes out, because it's not like, it's like passion, but yeah, a lot of it, right? Or else it wouldn't come out, right? So we're talking about over the top, and it is safe for you to love. So Sagittarius, it could be that you get a confirmation this week about something, or about a relationship. We'll see. We won't know until we get into your reading what this all means. So let's pull out your 7 cards. We're going to get your main card for the relationship, and then 3 cards for you and 3 cards for your person. What's going on for our lovely Sagittarius this week? And I know I do say that these readings don't necessarily have to be about love or romance, but they do tend to be about that. And I just wonder if, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the same case here for you today, Sagittarius. Alright, Sagittarius, King of Cups at the center. Alright, so is this you? Is this them? Alright, King of Cups, it's all about the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is someone who knows what they want, they go after it, right? So someone's got their eye on you, I think, Sagittarius. Someone's decided that you are what they want. I think somebody's decided and they're ready to step up and be that King of Cups. You see for yourself devil energy. This is how you are identifying right now. Interesting. Coming right underneath that passion. Oh gosh, you see your person as the world. Okay, so this is very kind of destiny, fate. You see the relationship as a Knight of Wands. All right, yourself and the relationship as a Knight of Wands energy. Interesting. All right, now your person has Two of Wands. They're looking to make a move, right? To move on with their lives, to start a journey. Could be that they want you to start this journey with them. Temperance, you're showing up in your own reading. Your person sees you exactly for who you are, Sagittarius. They see you as Sagittarius energy. And the relationship they see as Leo, strength. Wow. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have Judgment. Time to release guilt and bonds that no longer serve us. Judgment Day comes when you start to realize, you know, we only judge ourselves, right? The guilt that we have, the hang-ups that we carry around with us, they're all part of this whole kind of judgment that we put on ourselves, right? Telling ourselves what we should do and shouldn't do, who we should and shouldn't love, right? When judgment comes up, it's like a time in your life where you've decided to let go of any unnecessary guilt. You've decided to let go of being tied to requirements that don't serve you, criteria that doesn't serve you. You know what I mean? We judge ourselves in so many different ways, right? But a lot of it is like, you know, a lot of it is based on what we're told we should or should not do, should or should not feel, right? And so I think you're kind of like certainly like you don't care anymore, right? You're letting go. And certainly this is like the energy that is underneath of all of this. That's certainly a lot of freedom from guilt, freedom from judgment, freedom from old hang-ups. So yes, I did briefly say King of Cups, right? So passion, King of Cups is very passionate, but he's more that kind of very, I want to say the King of Cups is very determined, right? Goes after what he wants. Pretty sure this is Scorpio energy. It's like, you know, he takes, you know, he knows what he wants. He knows who he wants. The King of Cups is by no means that type of person who's afraid of their feelings or afraid to be with someone or afraid to tell someone how they feel. The King of Cups is very sure. And at the end of the day, he knows what he wants and he knows what's good for him and those around him, right? And so almost he doesn't worry about, you know, being rebuffed or being denied. He knows that whoever he wants will certainly want him back, right? Can be very protective. He's the one who's very possessive, and so yeah, hence there can be some Scorpio energy there, right? Some of you may be dealing with a Scorpio, but this person is certainly going to, if this is your person, or this person is looming large in your life this week, they're certainly going after what they want. Now, this could be you, Sagittarius. You could also be embodying King of Cups this week in a sense that there could be someone in your eye, right, that you have your eye on, right, in your view around you that you very much want to go after. You feel like it's safe to go after them because it's safe for you to love. You have a lot of passion. So this can be vice versa, but whatever the case may be, this week, either you or your person have decided that this is what they want, and they go after it, right? You go after it or they go after it. Interestingly enough, you're identifying with the devil. So devil is very passionate. I'm going to say that right now, Sagittarius, you know, the devil card will come out for Sagittarius oftentimes when they're having good sex life. You know, so you could be having, you know, certainly with passion, right? It could be that this connection is very sexual, and it's very creative, it's very passionate, it's very deep. I think that you're identifying, interestingly enough, I think this relationship is bringing something out in you something that is very very creative, I'm going to say, right? It's bringing a level of creativity out in you, and also perhaps opening sides of yourself to yourself that you didn't know about. Certainly you feel very passionate about this individual. Right now you're feeling generally very passionate about life in general, right? Now, the devil can indicate kind of like addictive energies, being a slave to instant gratification, but I don't think that's the case here. You know, we're talking about just pure passion. We're talking about highly creative passion here. Love is involved. So in this scenario, there's no other kind of toxic energy here. All of this energy is very, very positive. So when the devil shows up in such a positive reading, it can very much indicate that for some of you, like I said, you're reaching a heightened level of creativity. Some of you may be working on art, music, things of that nature, and you may be at the moment working on like a masterpiece, right? For some of you, Sagittarius, this relationship is very passionate. You're having a lot of sex, you're having a lot of passion. That is also affecting your creativity. And for some of you, it's like you feel good about yourself, your self-esteem is increasing, okay? And it's just helping you to vibrate higher. Sagittarius is a very physical sign, and so oftentimes when you find somebody that you can have that physical passion with and that connection, it really can heighten your creative senses. Your person is a Two of Wands, so they themselves have a sense of fire in them, in the sense that they have ambition right now. They have ideas about their future. They're ready to think about they're thinking about what the next step is in their life, right? Two of Wands. And I want to say that they're considering you in that, right? Because they're looking towards you. And it's like, I think that, your person is certainly, if they're presenting as King of Cups, right? It's like they're King of Cups and they're ready to go forward. But with you, they're King of Cups. They want you to be with them, right? But they're ready to move forward. And this is, again, interesting why they're a king. Because a king of Cups or otherwise is still a king. And so you're still talking about somebody who's generally very ambitious and a leader. Someone who goes out in the world, goes towards what they want or desire, right? Who accomplishes their dreams, right? And so they're presenting to you as King of Cups in the sense that, yes, they want you to be with them, they want you to be their companion, their mate, wife or husband, whatever, what have you. And yet at the same time, they are very much thinking about the next step in their life, the next move that they're going to make, whether that be a business move or move, right? And so they want you, and I feel very much, Sagittarius, for some of you, this individual wants you to be part of that, okay? And I think that this week there may be a conversation that happens about that, right? If this person hasn't presented in King of Cups before, they are certainly identifying this week with King of Cups in relation to you. Now, the way you see them is 21. It's the World card. The World card indicates that you see them very much as part of your destiny, Sagittarius. You see this relationship as something that was meant to be. And you see this person as someone who fits in with the way you see the world, with the way you want to live your life. They're like your perfect mate in the way, right? They're almost like your Bonnie to your Clyde, right? So because when you see them, that, everything feels right. This person is the type of person that you have the utmost confidence that this is going to be right, in the sense that all of the things that are important to you about life and about relationships and the way you interact with somebody, I think that this person is fulfilling that for you. And so I think also probably the circumstances under which you two met, okay, I'm going to say the circumstances under which you two met could have been quite auspicious, and it could have very much felt like this was certainly a fated meeting. It could be that, certain things fell into place and you guys just came in front of each other and like, wow, locked eyes and realized, oh, wow, what's going on here? And there was a spark, right? But when you think about how you guys even came together, for some of you now, this isn't for all of you, but for some of you, it's going to feel like it was like almost like, one of those mousetrap things. This thing led to this thing, which led to this thing, which led to this thing, led to this thing, and boom, here we are. We found each other, right? It's almost like a comedy of errors. And it just makes you feel even more like this was a meant to be. This was a fated kind of coming together or meeting. and you just feel really kind of like sure, right? It's also giving you a real sense of freedom, to know that that this has happened. This is like one of those type of things for you, Sagittarius. It's very up your alley in terms of like the adventure of your life. You know what I mean? It's like, of course, you would want to meet the one person that you think is, one of your soulmates. You would want to meet them under these really adventurous kind of like fated conditions, right? And so for you, this is all quite perfect. You know what I mean? The whole thing just feels quite good. Except that there is kind of a trepidation. It is safe for you to love. So for some of you Sagittarius, it can be that you've been very disappointed in the past. And as much as you feel like this might be right, as much as this relationship makes you feel very passionate and very good physically and emotionally, some of you Sagittarius out there still do have a lot of trepidation because you've been there before. You felt like this before, and then it just it just went to nothing. It just never, it never turned into what you had thought it would turn into. And so you are very apprehensive, and I think you're going to need some convincing. Some of you are going to need some convincing from your mate. Now, your mate sees you as Temperance. They see you as Sagittarius. They see you for who you truly are. They really understand you. I think this is for some of you Sagittarius as well, why this feels like so much like a fated meeting, because I think that you feel up until now that so many of the people you've been with before didn't really understand who you were. They really just didn't get you, right? They didn't get why you were the way you were, or why you were needed to have freedom, or your fire, where your fire comes from. It's just like you just felt very misunderstood at times, right? And so when somebody sees you for who you are, they see that tempered ability, they see you for your fiery side, and they can see also that you're very sensitive, They see all of these things and how they kind of come together for you, Sagittarius. It's another reason why you feel so drawn to them. It's another reason why you feel so like passionate about them. You feel so absolutely comfortable in front of them, right? Like completely like judgment free, right? You feel completely judgment free in front of them because you feel like you know that they make you feel like they see who you are, Sagittarius. And so for the relationship, you see it as a Knight of Wands. So you see a momentum here, like there is momentum in the sense that it needs to go somewhere. There's an objective, right? You see the relationship as moving, but you realize that it needs to have some kind of goal in mind, right? I mean, it just can't. Right now, it's a lot of passion. It's a lot of wands. It's a lot of fire between the two of you, right? And it's almost as if this Knight of Wands is kind of like run away, right? Like he's run away with his fire and his, it's just going. It's going. It's exciting. But I think you feel very much like, where are we going to go with this? Where are we going? Right? The passion is there, but where are we going with this? Right? He's like, come in. For some of you, it can feel like this relationship has just come into your life out of nowhere, like a bolt out of the blue, right? Like I said, even for some of you, the meeting alone was kind of like so fated and like wild. Like if any one thing had been out of place, you wouldn't have met, but it would have never been out of place. One of those things. But yes, it feels very much like a whirlwind, because the Knight of Wands can be a whirlwind energy. But without a purpose sometimes, right? The Knight of Wands can also be quite brash, quite arrogant, not thinking things through before you charges in, right? So it feels a little bit like, you want there to be, certainly Sagittarius, it feels like you're ready for there to be a bit more kind of like understanding of where is this going? What are we doing? Because right now, even from the reading, it feels quite vague. The feelings are there. The passion is there. I feel like you're probably having sex with this individual. You guys are probably very intimate and close. But in terms of the relationship, like sort of structure itself, it almost seems like that's still very loosey-goosey. And it's like you're not really sure where all of that is at, right? And is it safe to really let yourself love this person completely if you don't really know where this whole relationship is going? They see the relationship as strength. So they see it as, I want to say they see it as something that also needs boundaries and, you know, to be kind of hashed out. Where, you know, where are we going with this, right? Because 8 is the number for strengths, weaknesses, and boundaries. So when you're dealing with a person, it's about establishing within yourself where your boundaries are, where your strengths are, right? But when you're talking about seeing yourself in the relationship with someone, or seeing the relationship in terms of strength energy or Leo energy, I want to say that your person sees that not only the relationship does require work, it requires strength, it requires maturity. I think your person understands that at some point you guys will need to sit down and actually talk about, like, what are we doing here? You know, do we love each other? Are we, you know, what is this, right? Certainly at least some of the boundaries, right? So that feelings aren't hurt, right? So that people aren't hurt. So that people are not, you know, their ego, because, you know, Leo, strength over ego, strength over those type of feelings that can really hurt our sense of self, right? And so there's all of that involved here. There's a lot of emotion involved for your person, because also the strength card just involves a lot of emotion, right? A lot of pride. And I think that's the case. I think for your person, you know, in a nutshell, it's like this connection with you brings up a lot of emotions, and they realize that there is a need for there to be some kind of conversation about boundaries, about what this really is, you know, what are you guys to each other. And I think that they also understand that this relationship is the type of relationship that is going to require them to become strong, to be stronger, right? You know, they may have issues to do with pride and jealousy at times, right? Because again, getting back to King of Cups, the King of Cups, like I said, can be very possessive sometimes. He can be quite jealous. And so, you know, coming down here, we see that your person may realize that being with you means that they're going to have to step up in terms of themselves as well. They're going to have to step up and, you know, maybe not get as jealous as they're used to getting, you know, or maybe not be so possessive, because you are a Sagittarius. You know, being with a Sagittarius means that you have to understand that Sagittarius is going to do what they're going to do. They're not out to hurt anyone, but they want their sense of freedom. They don't want to feel like they have to adjust their behavior because of somebody else's feelings, because they might hurt somebody else's feelings, right? When they don't intend to at all, right? All of these type of things might be something that your person isn't entirely used to dealing with, right? And so they see that this relationship is certainly going to require them to understand that, right? To understand those boundaries, and to be able to handle their own feelings in response to that. All right, Sagittarius, I'm going to pull out your 3 cards and then call this one. I think it's just time for you. For some of you Sagittarius, you've been in a very lustful, passionate relationship with somebody, right? And it's going somewhere now. Feelings are starting to be involved, and there's going to have to be a conversation that's been had, because perhaps up until now it's just been all passion, right? It's been all passion and sex with that devil there, but now it's kind of gone somewhere else, and it's time to talk about, like, is this love, you know? And if it is, where are we going? Right? Because up until now, when it was just sex, you know, your person didn't have to worry about, you know, jealousy and things like that, you know, and neither did you, because you guys were just kind of in the passion. You're just in the initial, in that, right? This could be a friends with benefits situation that's kind of turned a corner. You know what I mean? Where one or both of you have started catching feelings for each other, and it's like, oh shit, what do we do now? Right? Coming out is Queen of Cups. There you go. Your feelings coming out. You can't hide them anymore. Right? So the Queen of Cups, you know, she's there she shows her feelings, how she truly feels. High Priestess, more intuition coming in, inner wisdom. So, you know, the High Priestess just lets you know you follow your gut. And 5 of Cups, regret. So yeah, some of you have been certainly through a lot of regret and pain, and you worry about that, right? There's concern about that here. So before it happens, perhaps talk about things, figure them out, hash them out, right? Queen of Cups talks about being very honest with your feelings, and the High Priestess talks about trusting your inner voice, right? Your inner wisdom. And before there's a lot of regret and heartache here, before this turns into something that could possibly really hurt one or both of you, it just requires a conversation, Sagittarius. You know the power of communication, and perhaps your person is open to that, because certainly this is a relationship that's had a very deep, strong physical connection. There is also a spiritual connection here too, but now it's certainly gone into a different realm that is the realm of the Leo energy, that kind of relationship energy, the energy where people get their feelings hurt if they're not, sure of where the boundaries are, where the expectations are. So it's certainly time to discuss expectations right now, right? Before this turns into, something else, right? You guys are falling in love, basically. All right? So let me know how you feel about that. If you resonate with that, like, subscribe, and share. Leave comments, hit that bell and get notified of all of my videos, not just some of them. But for right now, Sagittarius, I love you very much. You guys have a wonderful week, and I shall see you next week. Bye-bye.